Hey, what's going on, guys? Desri here from DesriMonies.com, and in today's live video, I actually just came back from GoPro this past weekend, and I just wanted to share with you guys, some of the biggest takeaways that I got from attending GoPro Recruiting Mastery this past weekend in Las Vegas. So, there were a ton of information that I got within, the 3 days that I was able to attend, and one of the biggest things that that really stood out to me when Eric Worre started talking about, how to become successful in online marketing, in network marketing, is, to develop three different areas that you need to, in order for you to become successful. So as you guys are hopping on, make sure you drop me a comment down below. What's going on, Betty? Glad to see you on here. So, the first thing that you need in order for you to be able to become successful in, in business, in network marketing, and online marketing, the first thing that you're gonna need to develop is your mindset. So, a lot of people try to skip to step number 3, which is, in that sense, they want to skip to the strategies. How can they, get more likes on their Facebook fan page? How can they get more engagement with their Facebook Lives? How can they generate more leads using an online marketing strategy, for example? So these are all examples of strategies, but if you don't have your mindset in place, then chances are that the other 2 steps that come later are not going to be as effective. So step number 2 is to develop your skill set. So if you as network marketers, one of the greatest skill sets that you can ever develop as a network marketer or an online marketer is your ability to learn how to market. So, it doesn't matter if it's using offline strategies, if you're doing flyers, if you're doing online marketing strategies. The basis of why we are network marketers is because we are a marketing platform for network marketing companies to use, instead of using traditional advertising and marketing strategies like billboards, TV, radio, these type of advertising. Network marketing companies pay network marketing distributors to get the message across to a targeted audience or a targeted list of customers, and there's no powerful way than word of mouth advertising, exactly. And is, if you think about it, there's only 2 jobs that you really needed to learn when you're learning how to become an online marketer or a network marketer. You just need to learn how to network, and second, you just need to learn how to market. So, but because the entry point for network marketing is so low, there's a lot of people who are coming from an employee, conditioned environment where, we were jumping straight into learning how to build a business, but haven't had that skill set, or haven't been trained in the art of building a business. So, because network marketing is great because the entry point is so low, but at the same time, it's a double-edged sword because there's a lot of people who are coming into the industry who don't have that business mindset, or who haven't developed the skill sets that they need in order to build a successful network marketing business. So if you're new to the network marketing industry, or if you've been around for a while and you haven't had the results that you're looking for, just remember that you just need to develop 2 skills. Learn how to network and learn how to market. So there's a ton of different ways that you can learn how to market. You can do it online, you can do it offline, you can do it belly to belly. The key is figuring out what works best for you and actually start to incorporate that into building your business. So it's going to take some time. A lot of people think that they can just jump into network marketing and actually start to earn a lot of money up front. But if you think about it, it's the same thing as if, like, for me, as a dancer, if I jumped into breakdancing, and then the first thing that I wanted to learn how to do was a flare. And as many of dancers know, a flare is one of the hardest moves that you can learn as a break dancer, especially if you're just starting. The first thing that you're going to need to learn how to do is just your basic 6-step. You're going to learn the fundamentals. You're going to learn your top rock. You're going to learn down rock, you're going to learn basic freezes. But if you're trying to bypass all of that, that's the reason why you're having difficulty in learning this business. It's because you're trying to do a more advanced things first when you haven't learned the foundational skills of how to invite, how to prospect, how to generate leads, and then eventually how to do a presentation and how to go about handling objections and how to close someone into your business. So I'm getting off into a little tangent here, but so after you actually develop your mindset, second thing you develop is your skill set. And so the two skill sets you want to work as a network marketer is how to network and how to market. The third thing that you're going to want to learn how to do is your strategy. So once you have your mindset in place, once you've developed the skill sets that you need, then you focus on a particular strategy. So, a strategy can be, how can you generate leads online using Facebook Lives like this? That's one strategy. You generate leads using Instagram. You can generate leads using, Facebook Messenger marketing. You can generate leads using Facebook advertising. There's a ton of different strategies out there, but you don't want to just focus on the strategy first. You first want to develop your mindset first, then develop the skill set, and then the strategy. So hope that has been valuable for you guys. One of the things that popped out also in GoPro Recruiting Mastery, and something that I really took away from the event, was when Tony Robbins came on board during his keynote. One of the things that I started to realize is, what's going on, Danny? Glad to see you on here. So that, and Tony Robbins talks about this a lot. So, energy is created by motion. We are, a society of people who are sitting in boxes all day. So if you think about it, we sit in a box bed, we sleep in a box bed, we sit on a box table when we have breakfast, we drive to work in a boxed car, only to go sit down in a boxed cubicle, only to come home and watch a box screen, and then you open a box refrigerator to drink a cylinder. So I thought that was a pretty funny analogy, and it's so true when Tony Robbins says this, because we don't use our bodies as much anymore. We're always sitting down. We're always, whether that be in a car, in a chair, in a cubicle, we're always sitting down. We're not really jumping up and actually getting a lot of exercise than we did when our forefathers were still in the focused on farming. So motion really creates a state. So there's a couple ways that you can change your physical state, and that's your state of mind, how you can actually create some energy if you're not feeling it. If you're in a state of a low energy, you can feel it. You can tell by your body language. You're probably hunched over, you're probably looking down, you're not making eye contact with people. And there's two ways that Tony talked about that you're going to change your state. And number one being your focus. So what are you focusing in on your mind? You can change that, the focus in your mind to having not having the leads that you want, or you can focus on the solution. One thing that you want to do is make sure that you're focusing on what you want rather than what you don't want, because your mind is going to open up possibilities either way. And if you're focusing on what you don't want, that's exactly what you're going to get. So he talked about an analogy of where he was learning how to drive, how to race cars, and he was going 130 miles an hour on a racetrack, and his instructor said, don't focus on the wall, because that's exactly where the car is going to go to, and you're going to crash if that was the case. But when you're in that type of environment, it's hard to not look at the wall rather than try to look at where you want to go. So what ended up happening was, the instructor told Tony, basically pushed Tony Robbins' face to the side, so he's looking away from the wall, so that the car would move in that direction. So he talked about that. You want to be able to focus on what you want rather than what you don't want, because either way your mind is going to give you exactly what you focus on. So the second way that you can change your state is to change your physiology. So when you're in a confident, peaks and high energized state, take a look at your body language. Your shoulders are back, your chest is out, you're making eye contact with someone, you have energy, you're in a power pose. But if if your physiology is weak, if it's not confident, if it's depressed, slouched, you can tell by your body language. You'll start to look down, your shoulders will be more forward, and you're just you're not in that energy, in that high energy when it comes to affecting your state. So you want to just be conscious of your physiology, just how the way that your body is acting. The best way that you can change your physiology is to just go exercise for 15, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever your workout schedule is like. But then if you change your physiology, you have more energy, you have more confidence to talk to people, rather than trying to approach it with the mind of, oh, they're never gonna join me, they don't see me as a leader. There's so many things that if that's what your mind is in, if that's exactly how it's going to come across to another person. Tony Robbins had us do an exercise where we actually paired up in twos and told us that talk to that person, but pay attention to your body, and actually just talk to this person as if it was a complete waste of your time. So then we evaluated each other. So when I evaluated the person that I was paired up with, I found out that her body language told her that she was laid back, she was not interested in at all talking to me. She was speaking slower, not making eye contact. She was diverting eye contact, and then she was just in a state of, I don't care about this person. And it comes across as someone, especially when you're talking to them. So if you're talking to someone on the phone, it'll come across the same way. If you're on a video call, if you're doing a Facebook Live like this, make sure that you're actually looking directly at the camera, because it mimics actually looking at someone directly in their eyes. So and then the other point of that exercise was to talk to that person in a way where they are a long lost friend that you haven't seen in a while. And then we paid attention to our body language. What happens is our body is more full. We have more energy. We make eye contact. We lean forward. We're speaking faster, and we have higher energy. So that exercise really pointed out that you can really change your physiology. You can change your state instantly if you just change your focus, or if you change your physiology. Just make sure that you're conscious of your body language. So what's going on, Summer? Glad to see you on here. Great seeing you at GoPro this past weekend. So another thing that stood out to me at the GoPro event, especially when Tony Robbins was speaking, was the power of identity. So Tony Robbins talked about the strongest force in human personality is the need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. So I'm going to repeat that again because it's very powerful. The strongest force in human personality is the need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. So let me elaborate on that. So when you're talking about the strongest force in human personality, we're talking about our identity. So who do we see ourselves as? Who do you see yourself as, and how is that consistent with the actions that you've been taking thus far in your business? So if you create an identity of someone who is not confident, of someone who is not able to be able to express their energy, express their confidence in purchasing a product or service, or the reason, if you're selling a product or service, how confident are you in selling it to another person? I mean, if we're all in network marketing here, so if you're in a network marketing company, how confident are you in recommending your products to another person? If you are not confident in it, then you have to change your state. You have to change your identity. Either you haven't found a product that you're passionate about, or you're just not in that state of being able to to have that identity of someone who is confident in what they are promoting. So, you know, people buy into an identity. So when we were in Vegas, you know, I had a couple of friends that actually went to a Louis Vuitton store and purchased some Louis Vuitton purses and some bags. And if you think about it, you know, when you buy a Louis Vuitton, what's going on, Dara? Glad to see you on here. So when you're buying a Louis Vuitton purse, you're not really buying just the bag. What you're really buying is an identity of someone who can purchase that bag, who can make that purchase, and then that fits well within the identity of the person that you've developed. So if you want to make a change, you're gonna have to focus on, you know, which identity do you want to be able to take on. So when I talk about identity, if you think about it, when you have an identity of someone that's evolving, if you're just getting involved in the network marketing industry, then you know that you're starting to evolve. You're trying to change your mindset because you want something more. You want more out of life. You want to be able to experience more. You want to be able to travel. You want to be able to spend time with your kids and not have to work at a full-time job, you know, making somebody else rich, and you're tired of trading your time for money. I mean, people come into the network marketing industry because they want more time freedom, they want more financial freedom, and they want the flexibility to have more choices in their lives. So, you know, as you get involved with the network marketing industry, you start to see that people are starting to either hate on you. You know, your friends and family are going to say, "What are you doing?" And that's because you're challenging their identity. If you're challenging the identity of who they are, and the reason, and because you want to start to evolve, they're either gonna feel comfortable being in their identity and not follow you because it's challenging everything that they've learned in their lives up until this point. So, you know, if you are evolving as an entrepreneur, and if you're evolving as a network marketer, it's very important for you to surround yourself with people who are on the same journey as you, who are looking to grow. So I know we met Dara, you know, this past weekend, and we both have similar mindsets. I've never met her in person until this event, and we met online. And she, you know, when we had a conversation, we instantly knew that it was like talking to a long lost friend. We just had that same mindset, and it was instant. And it was through content like doing Facebook Lives. It was through, you know, the content she found on my Facebook profile that, you know, and me reaching out to her through Facebook Messenger that actually started that first relationship. So, you know, there's so many ways that you can build relationships online. It doesn't have to be just in person, but if you do it in a way where you're interested in a person and get to know them, then you'll start to build that relationship, and you can go to events and feel like you've talked to this person, and it's been like having a long lost friend that you haven't talked to in a while. So that's the power of identity. So when you're building a personal brand, Tony Robbins talked about 5 key things, and the first thing that he talked about is understanding the power of identity. So he had a phrase that said, you know, clients go away and raving fans stay. So your goal as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, is to create raving fans who are raving about your product and raving about your service because you've went above and beyond anything else that is out there. If you take a look at your competitors, what can you do to stand out? What can you do that is a unique selling proposition? So number 2 is to identify and articulate your competitive advantage. So that it comes down to how can you set yourself apart from the crowd and other people set yourself apart from the crowd who is selling a similar product or service. Number 3 is to practice communicating it congruently. And number 4 is to live it, so you embody it. You want to live that identity. And then number 5 is learn how to market it. So it all boils down to, those are the 5 keys of how to build a personal brand. even if you're in a network marketing company. It's how you can set yourself apart from other people who are promoting a similar product or service. So there's so many more things that I want to be able to go through with you guys when it comes to GoPro Recruiting Mastery's event and my takeaways, but I just want to give you a taste of the information that I was able to learn from that event. And I'm actually creating a blog post to be able to share with you guys in depth more about the takeaways that I got from GoPro Recruiting Mastery 2018. So if you guys want access to the blog post, just type an emoji down below and just create and make sure that if you're watching the replay, type in the comment hashtag replay and let me know that you guys are watching the replay. And if you guys get value from this video on my takeaways of the GoPro Recruiting Mastery event from Las Vegas, then make sure that you share this with anybody that you think that might be valuable for them. And make sure you hop on my newsletter at desrimoniz.com/newsletter if you want more tips and information on how to go about building your network marketing business online. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to private message me. I'm always more than happy to help people learn what it takes to be able to build their businesses online, and that's what I'm passionate about and what I love doing to help serve other people in this industry. So hope you guys get value from this video. Make sure that you drop a comment down below and let me know where you guys are watching from. But with that, hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll catch you guys in another video.